The first Turbot was built back in 1990, Turbot 1.0, and essentially it was a two-mechanism device that used built-in mercury switches, and as the device fell over onto a new edge, new mercury switches would close, which would activate another motor. So in other words, it was essentially a rotating state engine, a Turing machine, and so we called it the Turbot, Turing bot. And so that was okay, but the problem was is that it didn't behave like a Turing machine should. On the computer screen, of course, turbites and termites have wound up being something that was studied as a mathematical recreation during the late 80s. And of course, the patterns they generated are actually quite cool, but they were quite thorough. What we noticed, though, is that this device was far from the predictable sort of machine that you would expect from a state device. It was chaotic. It exhibited all kinds of wonderful emergent behaviors. It stayed towards the light, and ultimately its demise came when my cat ripped its guts out because she thought it was the greatest self-mobile cat toy she'd ever seen. This was Turbot 2.0. It was built in 1992, and it's still operational today. Much smaller device than the original tetrahedral creature, self-contained solar cells, integrator, blinkers, and basically just two directive motive gear mechanisms of different length flagella. And this device has essentially been videotaped and time-lapsed, and its ability to be able to go over extremely complex environments with the smallest number of components and the least amount of peripheral damage is actually, almost legendary now. I mean, it really kicks butt in terms of getting around. The problem, that's right, but the problem is it also kicks butt and basically against other robots. Because of its sort of like peripatetic gear mechanisms, these things have a tendency to grab and kill and crush other robots that basically tumble into its environment.